it sure is. I'm excited about this. Because I've heard good things that may have very been bad things that I'm just not aware of. But I think it was good.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the game
A series of
made by
unfortunate
a friend
events?
of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009.
Coda's
at
a dumb
time when
name.
I was really struggling
Sorry.
with some personal stuff.
It's not a dumb
And his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Cool.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Nailed it.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Why do we care?
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Is this real?
I think it
He
is.
actually made these games?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not real.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
What happens? This is interesting. We'll alternate games.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
You care.
I don't.
Here, you go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
What? Oh,
Take
shit.
it, baby.
What are you supposed to do? I don't think I have any. I think my ammo's unlimited. Nope, I ran out.
You're out.
It's not unlimited.
No.
There's just no counter. Oh, shit. Bet.
Yeah, same. I didn't see it.
Security code breached.
I don't like that.
Hostile alien life form inbound.
Is it me? Am I the hostile? Run!
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have
That's
this
rude.
gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Oh shit.
You can't
I
even reload
walk
the gun
here.
when you run
There's
out of
like glass
bullets.
there.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
What is this game?
Enemy forces
Whoa.
neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
That's
I love how
pretty.
you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Nope. It's not bad.
No, I like it.
Apparently, the space station has a labyrinth on it.
Oh, shit.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that
Stop
I've ever been
hating.
able to discern, so in the interest of time,
Not
I'm just
bad.
gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Is there a whisper machine in here? Oh.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a whisper machine.
Hello?
We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If you,
I'm gonna have to kill
your body
myself.
could stop the beam.
Yep.
It's so much to ask, but for all
Classic.
of our lives,
Classic
would
cliche
you do
game.
it? Could you give yourself?
Fuck you, bitch. Hit.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam
Death.
and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Do we gotta do it again?
Yeah, I think it's.
Is there anything else in here before I just... Nope. It.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is
is a weird
technically a
bug.
glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made
Let's.
after leaving this one behind.
Let's. It's all you.
I know. I'm just gonna make sure we going. Okay. Oh, there.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's a unique idea for a game.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
a pain in the butt.
So it's a
but-
short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
That's really cool.
Coda's trying to give it a unique
Whoa.
voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
So what's that?
Oh, dude.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then
Okay.
it ends.
That's really
Didn't need
cool.
anything
That is
more than
cool.
that.
I like that.
Which to me is why it works, because
Yeah.
it gets out quick. Okay, next one.